Bro, he even suggested I move in with him because rent is so expensive in Korea. Hey guys, it's Cece Lesson 3. Welcome back to my channel and Happy New Year. We made it to 2020. So for this first video for 2020, I'm trying to be a little more positive since my last couple uploads I had to rant. So this video, I wanted to tell you guys about my first and, well, only good date all last year. I went to Korea back in September and I was only supposed to visit my friends for like a month, and I ended up staying until like 3 days before Thanksgiving. So I just stayed. I couldn't leave, and while I was there, I met a guy and went on a date. But before I get into the story time, I do want to tell you guys about this new coat that I got. This coat has the softest hood. It has like a million pockets, well 8, but it feels like a lot more. I got it from Amazon. It's Fad Show. It's a down jacket. And the reason I like this is because after spending years in Korea, I've become addicted to long padding coats. And they're cute, they're fun and everything, but I wanted a long coat that wasn't so long, but also had a lot of pockets because I don't like bags. I am a pocket girl. When I find one purse, I kind of keep it until I need to get a new one. So in the winter, I like to take advantage of big coats with a lot of pockets. This coat is so soft. I really wanted like a bright red coat because I always get like black or navy coats. Now if you guys are interested in it, there's a coupon code in the description. It's valid for 10 days. You get 20% off from January 8th to January 17th. Here's the coupon code and the link in the description if you guys are interested, because I really like it. Okay, let's get back to the video. So like I said, I'm trying to be positive going into 2020, and I just wanted to tell you guys about a really good experience I had last year while dating in Korea. So if you guys saw my Get Ready With Me video, you'll see that I went on a date. It was like a Halloween date, and this was genuinely the first time in like a year that I was asked out by someone who was interested in more than just, you know. So we met on OkCupid. I kind of gave up with Tinder in Korea, period, because no matter how many disclaimers I put in my description, or even if I put it in Korean or in English, whatever, there was always those people who were like, so do you want FWB? And I'm like, you do not read, because I do not. This was also the first time I hung out or went on a date with a guy who was older than me. I have this bad habit where I tend to like guys who are like a year or so younger. So yeah, I think he was like 30, but I can't remember if that was his Korean age or his international age. So for our first date, one thing you should know about me is I love horror movies. They're my favorite genre. I like action and comedy too, but horror is my go-to. So this was in like September, where It Chapter 2 had come out, and I had been dying to see it. Like my thing, I love to go to scary movies in the theater because they don't scare me. Like I get scared a lot, don't get me wrong. I'm a little bitch when it comes to being scared. I'm paranoid in real life. Movies and things that are meant to scare me just don't. Plus, I really like James McAvoy. I love Scottish accents. So after the movie, we went to go get something to eat, and he asked what I wanted to eat, but I honestly just kind of wanted to drink a little bit. So we decided to split one bottle of soju, and we sat there and talked for like 2 hours, to the point where like the cashier was just at the register and they were like trying to close up. So we're like, yeah, we should go. It's late. We talked a lot. He was always like really insecure and self-conscious about his English, and he was like, oh, it's not that good. I'm like, it really is. Like it's not as bad as you made it seem like it would be. Like I was kind of worried, and his English really was fine. The only problem is 가끔만 그는 영어로 말해를 잊었어요. So I had to try to understand him because sometimes he would legitimately forget to speak English. So after we ate, we kind of just walked around Gangnam for a little bit. I see, one of my things in the States that I don't do is night walks. Depending on where I'm at, I guess. Honestly, I think I'm a lot more paranoid about it because before I went to Korea, I wasn't so like scared and fearful. When you go to some place that's so safe and you just really don't have to worry about your safety in any way, and then you suddenly get thrown back into a country where, yeah, you gotta be careful, it just seems like World War III, which we might actually be heading into. But that's for another time. So me and him went for this nice, cool, brisk night walk around Gangnam. We were talking a bit. We realized we had a lot of like music in common. As it was getting too late, we decided, all right, let's leave. It's time to go. So he called me a taxi. That was it for the first date, and it was really nice. He texted me, said, you know, sleep well. I hope we can do this again soon, which I was like, yeah, we can definitely hang out again as long as you don't turn perv on me or start mentioning and being suggestive about. So the next time we hung out, this was actually the Halloween vlog that I showed you guys when we went to Lotte World. Met up, we went to get Thai food, and I decided to pay. And he's like, oh, that's so refreshing, you know, a lot of girls expect you to pay all the time, like especially Korean girls. And I was just like, honestly, I think that's a lot of girls, period. But I have this weird stance, or this weird mental space, according to my friends and family, where unless we're dating as an official couple, I don't really like you paying for me all the time, because then guys today expect something or think that means, I mean, but I bought you that dinner though. Plus, not for nothing, if I don't really like them like that, then I'll feel bad that they spend money on me. So I could tell he was trying to show off a little bit, because instead of just taking the train, which would have been a lot faster, he decided to drive and pick me up. And we drove to Lotte World. We got stuck in traffic a little bit, but I got to hear a bit more of his musical taste, because I was really impressed when he was playing Bruno Mars and Nas and Outkast. And then, like I said, he goes in and out of English and Korean, but the fact that when Icebox by Omarion played and he knew the whole song word for word, we were both, I got this icebox where my heart used to be, we were vibing. It was really fun. So anyway, it's mid-September, and if you guys can learn one thing from this video, Koreans start Halloween stuff mad early. Like, this had to be like September 12th or 9th or something like that, and they already had full-on zombies out at night and people wearing makeup and zombie makeup. Korea is all about photos, photo zones, selfies. You take pictures everywhere you go. They have designated areas for you to do that. So he was excited about taking a photo with me, because he said, can we take a photo? So I thought he meant he wanted me to get it for him, because he went in like this old school like telephone booth, and I thought he meant he wanted me to get the picture for him. But he said, no, you come with me. And I was like, well, who's gonna take it? So then he said, and it just asked somebody real quick, and they just took it. He was all like active, and I don't know, he was really fun. It's like the first time we hung out, we went to the movies, and like he let the door swing in my face, which if y'all don't know, that's not rude, that's just what Koreans do. I don't know about other countries, but in the States, for example, when we go through a door and we see someone close enough behind us, we'll hold it open for them too. In Korea, they don't do that. But this time, he actually held the door for me, so I was like, oh, you're learning. But before we talked about going to Lotte World, I asked him how he is with roller coasters, because I love them. I love roller coasters. He's like, yeah, they're fun, they're fine. So we're getting in lines for like the bigger ones, and he's like looking up and just like, he can hear people screaming on the ride, and he's like, whoa, I go, almost like just being scared. And I was like, I thought you said it was fun. He said, oh, it's fun, it's great. And just suddenly like, yeah, I'm a man. What was funny, the first ride we got on was like this revolutionary one where it spins. I could hear him scream so loud that I thought when we got back on the ground, like his lungs wouldn't be there anymore. So then, because it's still kind of hot, I was like, hey, how about we get ice cream? My treat this time. So then he said, okay, which flavor do you want? How about this? Let's say it on 3. And we went, hana, do, set, and we both said taro at the same time. He said, oh, I think it is fate. I was like, oh my God. So then after we got ice cream, we saw that a lot of the rides were still too long. So we said, let's just get something to eat. So one thing that I thought was really touching is I have a lot of food allergies. And we talked about it while we were talking over dinner the last time. He actually remembered. I wanted naengmyeon. Naengmyeon is my favorite in the summer. It's like icy noodles. When you're transitioning into fall, you don't see it as often anymore. So I was kind of sad that the only naengmyeon they had peanuts in it. And I was about to get it anyway. But he said, wait, that dangkong, a peanut you can't have. And I was like, oh, that does have peanuts in it, huh? So we're eating. He saved my life. Funniest moment of this date. We went to on this ride called the gyro drop, which is, you know, one of those classic rides that like shoots you up and then shoots you down. So we got on, we sat right next to each other, and he's like looking up thinking, oh wow, we're gonna be up there in like 20 seconds. I was like, you scared? He's like, no. He said, son juseo, like hold my hand. I gave him my hand, which was a mistake, because as soon as we shot up, he just squeezed the life out of my hand. I was like, ow, my hand, and nothing. He didn't let go until I said in Korean, I was like, apa, son, apa. He's like, oh, sorry. So it was fun. I like scary stuff. And after that, he said, so is there anything else you want to do? If y'all know me, I always go to Han River, so that's where we went. Now this is where he started to tell me like, so I know you say you're looking for friends, but can I ask why that is? And I told him, well, you know, I'm in Korea just visiting. I don't live here anymore, so I don't see the point in starting a relationship here. And he said, yeah, but you could come back to Korea. I was like, I could not. Aside from like the adorable cuteness of these kids, I don't really miss teaching. Like I said, I don't mind visiting. Like I do plan to visit very often, especially with being a flight attendant. I can go like every month or every other month. And he said, are there any other reasons why you don't want to live in Korea? And I said, I was always curious and interested what it would be like to be abroad here as a foreigner. I feel like I know what that's like now. Then he asked me more about my ex and how that ended. Like I said, he was an absolute sweetheart. Like, we didn't end on any sort of bitterness. The only problem is when we started to date, we both knew that he was about to go back to the States for school because he had just finished his military service, and I had just renewed my contract. So I was gonna be in Korea, he was about to go to the States. Me plus long distance equals no. So I told him that. He asked me about his parents, my ex's parents. I said, I actually don't know anything about them because whenever we did hang out, he had to lie and tell his parents he was hanging out with a military friend or a comrade. And he asked, oh, well, why do you think he didn't say that? And he said, well, he flat out told me that his dad would maybe not be as bad, but his mom would not like it at all. Even when we went to Hong Kong, for a few days, and he told his parents he went with a military friend. Like, I don't want to be anybody's secret girlfriend, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to date in Korea because that's what it would be. Anyway, he said, you know, not all Koreans think that way, which I know. I keep saying not all. I know that. I know that. He was like trying to sell me on the idea like, oh, my parents aren't like that. My family is great. They're very open-minded, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just trying to come up with every reason for why I can't and don't want to live in Korea anymore. He even suggested I move in with him because rent is so expensive in Korea. When he dropped me off, he texted me and said, you know, it was very tempting to not kiss you. And I was just like, sorry, I had to relocate. So the next time that we hung out, we decided to just have some food. We went around Gangnam and Itaewon. So then we decided to take a bus to Itaewon to try out this like amazing donut place. And these donuts were like the size of like cakes, like they were really big. Seats are pretty scarce. Like a lot of people take public transportation because it's so amazing in Korea. So you'll see like the girl sitting down and the guy like standing over her talking to her, or like as soon as the seat comes up, he'll give it to his girlfriend. For me, when I take the train or the bus, I usually always stand. Unless it's a seat in the very back where I know an older person wouldn't want it anyway. So a seat became available. It's a really crowded bus. He tells me to sit down. I'm like, no, I'm good. You should sit down. He said, no, this is gonna be a long ride. You should sit down. I was like, no, I'm fine. He literally like put his hands on my shoulders and sat me down. I was just like, okay. Sit down. Thank you. All right. So he's like, you know, holding onto the handrail, like hover over me and talking. And he said, wow, I really feel like we're a couple. And then I felt bad because one of my friends told us that like, oh, this is our stop, like in like a last minute situation. And he fell getting off the bus. So we went to Itaewon, we had these really good donuts, and everybody's like, so what are we getting into tonight? I wasn't too keen on going out. He said he had some friends that he was gonna meet up with in Hongdae, so that's what he was gonna do. And then my friend's like, yeah, we should go out, I'm like, all right, fine, let's go out. While we were in Itaewon, there's like this international market that like is really useful for when you need stuff from back home. So we went there because two of my friends had to get some ingredients. And it's really small. The one we went to was really tiny. So I went outside because it was too cramped and I'm just in everybody's way. Now, you know when someone's staring at you and you know that they're staring at you, but you don't like acknowledge it? So like I go out front and I'm trying to take a picture of the sunset, and I see that like one of the guys who worked there is staring at me, and I never gave him an identity in this. Let's just call him JJ because those were his initials. So then JJ comes out and he kind of just like swoops in and just blocks him so he can't see me, and he puts his arm around me. He's like, oh yeah, this is a really pretty sunset, like he's trying to claim me. So my friends wanted to go back to Gangnam to get ready to go out, like that's where they live. So I was just gonna go out with what I was wearing. I didn't really care to get dressed up or anything. So he said, let's just go get dinner. So me and him just went to Hongdae to get dinner since we were all gonna meet there anyway. We had like a private curtain sort of thing, but he was so like, I don't know, like first he tripped on the bus earlier. There's like a light hanging over us. He kept hitting his head on the light, and I'm just like, you haven't even had a sip of drink yet. Like, what is wrong with you? So after that, he walked me to exit 9 where my friends were. He said, oh, you know, are you gonna be okay? I don't think you'll have fun tonight. It's really crowded. And it really was. Literally, that is the most crowded I've ever seen Hongdae. Like, it was a line to get into every place. That was so not fun. And this is also the first night that I was charged only as a foreigner, where foreign girls pay 5, foreign men pay 10, and then Koreans were free. So the next and final time that we hung out, he asked me if I had heard of a VR cafe, which I had not, but it's amazing. It's Iron Man experience rides. They have that lightsaber game. You can kill zombies. They just and you're on a roller coaster simulator. It was a lot of fun. And we had to like kill these zombies while we like were lowered on this conveyor belt. And it had like this like skirt warning because they had wind coming up, so they had like a blanket they gave me, and insisted on taking off his jacket and using that to tie around my waist, but they had blankets for me, so I was fine. I hear him like freaking out. He's like, oh, I'll come check you out, oh, like being scared of the zombies. Like normally first person shooters aren't my type of game at all, because I don't like it when I can't see my character. So he's like, wow, you're a really good shot. Is that because you're American and you love guns? I was like, first of all, I hate guns. Not all Americans like guns. I don't like them. So then, unfortunately, as much as I like those like virtual rides and stuff, I started to get a little bit of a headache. He said, oh, we can find something light to do. So we're just walking around in Shinchan, and I said, oh, bowling, let's go bowling. I hadn't bowled in like 2 years. So we did that briefly, and then he helped me find my bus back home, and that was the last time we hung out. I went to the fireworks festival a few months later, and me and my friends were in Itaewon drinking, and he called me. And he would do that. Like, I'm not used to people calling me, so when my phone rings, I assume it's like a butt dial. People don't call me. The first time he called me, I just kind of like, oh, that must be an accident. But then he called me again, so I went somewhere quiet, and I'm drinking. I'm not totally sober. So I was like, hey, what's up? What are you doing? And I guess you could kind of tell that it was out of character, and he's like, are you okay? And I was like, oh, it's Saturday night. I'm drinking. I've been drinking. So yeah, that pretty much ended with him scolding me about drinking, saying how I should be more responsible and I shouldn't drink so often, which as a Korean, he should not have any room to talk. No, I've never met people who drink like Koreans. So yeah, he scolded me like he was my father and he was upset and hung up the phone. And that was the last time we talked. With the exception of I uploaded the get ready with me video, and he told me to let him know when I posted it, so I let him know. Then I was like, hey, what did you think of the video? He's, oh, I think it was fun. I think we look great together, smiley face. And then we didn't really talk much after that, because like I said, it became pretty clear that he wanted a girlfriend. He wanted me to go back to Korea and live there, which I just don't see in my future anymore. But yeah, I just thought I'd share the story because it was the one and only date that I went on last year, and it was actually a pretty nice encounter. I don't get asked out often for more than... So yeah, that was it. Thanks for watching. If you did, remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. I put 2 new videos out every week, so if you want to see more content, hit the subscribe button. And I will see you next time. Annyeong.